What's up? I'm Josh. I've worked at both Tesla and Twitter, and I'm pretty well known for my Twitter day in the life of a software engineer video, which has a couple million views on YouTube. So a lot of people ask me, because of my perspective, to share my thoughts on Elon Musk's recent purchase of Twitter. I realize this is a very politicized topic right now, and honestly, if you're looking for a political opinion from me, I don't have anything to add. I just wanted to share a totally different Silicon Valley perspective. I'm really sharing an employee's perspective here, and it's probably not what you think. Okay, first off, let's just get this out of the way. Working for Elon Musk kinda sucks. This isn't just my opinion. In Silicon Valley, it's a pretty well-known fact that Tesla looks really cool on a resume, but it's a pretty toxic place to work. I had heard this a lot before I actually started working at Tesla, but I really experienced it like firsthand. Actually, day 2 of my internship when my boss got fired directly by Elon Musk. I mean, I get thrown into this internship day 2, and all everyone's talking about the whole week is how Elon Musk reached down like a couple levels in the org chart and just fired my boss. One detail you'd probably be surprised by is like his employees talk about him a lot. That's like all the gossip is around the office. His employees respect him and like almost revere him in this very unique way. But at the end of the day, he's a very opinionated man, and he treats his employees as almost replaceable tools that he uses to fulfill his mission. As a result, most of the employees that end up at Tesla are like first-time entrants into the Silicon Valley tech scene, and Tesla honestly has a pretty difficult time recruiting from other Silicon Valley tech companies. There's a couple other reasons for this besides the toxic work culture that I'll talk about in a second, but I mentioned that word Elon Musk's missions, and I want to chat about that real quick. Elon Musk has these missions like accelerating the world's transition to clean, renewable energy, or making humans an interplanetary species is a pretty well-known one. A lot of people know that. Let me set the record straight. Like, these missions are awesome. I can say pretty much every single Tesla and Twitter employee loves these and gets behind these 100%. And I really want to emphasize this point. Twitter employees love what Elon Musk is doing. They buy his cars, they like live stream the rocket launches on the company TVs in the office. Pretty much all of Silicon Valley roots for Elon Musk, and that is no different at all at Twitter. But that doesn't mean that Elon Musk is a great boss to work for or that people want to work for him at all. And this is a fact that's made even worse by my second point, which is that Tesla does not treat their employees very well. Tesla perks are the absolute worst in Silicon Valley, hands down, case closed. You guys saw my day in the life at Twitter video, like free smoothies, free lunch and breakfast, orange juice, snacks, popcorn, cool like TV rooms to watch sports while you're working. None of that exists at Tesla. There are no freebies at Tesla. In fact, it is the total opposite. They are actually making money off of employee food. If you go to the Tesla kitchenette and buy a cup of noodle soup, it costs more than if you just bought it from the store.
Please, no! No! No!
I distinctly remember my last week at Tesla. We were gonna go out to lunch with the team to like celebrate. We picked this fun Mexican restaurant, drove there during our lunch break. And after we had all eaten, there was this like awkward moment. All my teammates were looking around. I realized they were trying to decide like how they were gonna pay for lunch. At the last moment, my boss was like, "Don't worry guys, I'll cover it. I got the bill." And to be clear, this did not mean that Tesla was going to pay for the team lunch. This meant that my boss, out of his own money, was gonna pay for our lunch. For people not employed in tech, this might seem like a totally normal situation. What's wrong with 6-figure employees like buying their own lunch? But if you truly understand the mind of a tech employee in Silicon Valley, this situation is like bizarre. When you live and work in a place where there are thousands of companies that throw free lunch at you, crazy, insane, like no premium insurance plans, totally free dry cleaning, box office suites to NBA games, a company as big as Tesla that doesn't have a budget for like big quarterly team lunches gets a pretty bad reputation pretty fast. But the free lunches and perks situation definitely isn't the only thing that Tesla is infamous for. They also have a pretty bad reputation for having low pay. And I'll tell you right now, Twitter employees are definitely worried that their pay is going to drastically change. If you're outside of Silicon Valley, you might not be used to this, but a huge portion of Silicon Valley pay is through stock packages. I'm not talking talking about like a couple thousand here or there. I'm talking about literally like hundreds of thousands of dollars of pay will come from stock. Twitter employees love their stock because when the Twitter stock goes up, they make a lot more money. And this is a big deal because now that Elon Musk has bought Twitter, it is no longer a public company, and Elon Musk will own all of the stock. Employees will not have stock anymore. In other words, a huge portion of Twitter employees' future pay is going to vanish. Now, honestly, is Twitter management gonna let all their employees take a huge pay cut and just like have resignations flowing in because they're not making as much money anymore? No, that's definitely not gonna happen, but I wouldn't be surprised if there are huge sweeping salary negotiations across every single employee at the entire company. And I will tell you right now, Twitter employees are not going to make as much as they were before. This is because Tesla, aside from like having the reputation of kind of bad perks and stuff, also has a pretty bad reputation for having some of the lowest pay in the area. I saw this firsthand when the Tesla recruiter called me to give me my offer after the end of my internship. Like, surprise, surprise, it was over $50,000 less than my Twitter offer. And what's funny is I didn't even have to bring this up to the recruiter. The recruiter already knew before they even told me what the offer was. Imagine starting a phone call with a recruiter and the first thing they say is, hey, I know what I'm about to tell you is gonna be a pretty low offer compared to some other places, but I'm hoping we could work through some of these details. That's pretty much exactly how the conversation started, and needless to say, it wasn't hard to turn down the offer. Now, why are Tesla offers so much lower than other comparable companies like Twitter? It could be some mix of like lower profit margins, you know, it's the automobile industry. It could also be more of a willingness that Tesla has to recruit outside of Silicon Valley where salaries are a little bit lower and it's less competitive. But mostly what I heard from the recruiter that day is Tesla knows that they underpay, but they also know that people who are truly, you know, mission driven, the pay won't matter that much to them. In theory, this is like kind of a cool idea, you know, maybe if Josh, was a little more mission driven, I wouldn't care about superficial things like money as much, and I would have more like peace of mind leaving $50,000 on the table knowing that, hey, at least I'm working for like a truly mission driven company. In practice though, it's really not that simple, and honestly, $50,000 is just a huge amount of money. And I think another point here is like there really is this like feeling of being valued by a company being willing to pay you more money. As a fresh new grad, Twitter being willing to pay me almost $200,000 for like my first real job is just an incredible feeling. And at the end of the day, if Tesla really wanted to make me feel valued as an employee, that kind of offer is just sending the wrong message. Now I hear the critics in the comments, you know, you spoiled Silicon Valley employee, you would turn down the opportunity to work for the foremost visionary of our generation all because of free lunch, and you don't like the cup of noodle soup, you have to pay for it and some money differences. And listen, I get it, you're not wrong. And in fact, that exact rhetoric is pretty much the exact thing that the Tesla recruiter told me on the phone that day. Honestly, it's an argument that works for a lot of people. Tesla has incredibly smart, talented engineers, designers, mechanics, business people. They have a ton of amazing employees who've really bought into this mission and enjoy it a lot. These are employees that with so many options of places you can go work in Silicon Valley, they've found their way to Tesla and they love it there. Listen, at the end of the day, Tesla has amazing, incredible employees. Twitter has amazing, incredible employees. These are people who their entire career is tech and they're working on something they truly believe in. Both companies definitely approach their mission and how they treat employees differently. That doesn't mean that one's wrong and one's right. If there's anything I want you to get out of this video, it's that there are real human beings behind both of these companies. They have dreams, goals, things they're interested in, things they are passionate about. Each of these employees is a human being, and the decision of where they want to work and what kind of company they want to work at is very personal, and it's not something that's as simple and straightforward as people make it out to be. I loved my time at both of these companies. There was an incredible opportunity for me at both of them. I learned a ton there. I'm really proud of what I got to work on. I mean, to this day, what I built at Tesla is probably the coolest thing I've built so far. Literally, during my internship, got to make the shop.tesla.com webpage. I did this whole thing from scratch, and it's something I'm incredibly proud of. And there are hundreds and hundreds of people just like me at each of these companies that have things they're proud of and things they've done. And I really hope that here in this crazy shakeup and turn of events with Elon Musk purchasing Twitter, that each one of those employees can find the place where they're happy. Thanks for watching, everyone. We'll see you later.